So upfront, just a few quick points about Keboola and what you can expect from the webinar today. So Keboola, we are a data automation platform. We're sold as a service, software as a service, and we've been around for 2016. So we've been doing this data automation thing for quite a while. We are preferred as a data integration platform by many customers in the industries that you're in, retail, e-commerce, and logistics, and we're used by close to 5,000 users globally. So what you can expect from the webinar today is to see how one such DTC customer of ours, and a pretty big one, uses Keboola to automate data on the supply chain of things for their e-commerce business. And Vojta, who I'll hand it over to in a minute, will explore how these various operational data sources, things like labor and product shipments, can feed into cost reporting to allow you to get a hold and manage your fulfillment cost. And additionally, you will learn how to use Keboola to automate these data flows. And so you will see here are just kind of two examples of some of the data that will come out of these pipelines. So, of course, if you're managing a warehouse, you have fixed costs and labor costs. Together, we can show how those are contributing to your overall cost of fulfillment and on a per package basis, and also how the level of staffing in those warehouses impacts your efficiency on a price per package basis. And so the customer of ours that has kind of been pioneering some of these use cases, they're called GymBeam. They're a major health and wellness company, direct to consumer. They sell supplements, nutrition products, accessories, and apparel. They do roughly $250 million in sales across 16 countries, all direct to consumer. They have close to 10,000 SKUs available on their website, which is GymBeam.com, spelled G-Y-M, not like the whiskey. And they own their own fulfillment, and they do anywhere from 30 to as much as 100,000 packages shipped per day. And so the challenge that GymBeam faced, that they have been using Keboola to manage, is that they experienced incredibly rapid sales growth starting during COVID, as I'm sure many of you did as well. The e-commerce industry, of course, took off then. Their sales doubled 3 times over a 4-year period, beginning with COVID-19. Today, they operate 5 warehouses in 4 different countries, and they fulfill over 10 million orders per year. So the challenge that they were facing was, how do we scale our warehouse and fulfillment operations while keeping control of these rapidly growing costs? And how can we capture economies of scale now that we've doubled our business several times without having to double our expenses to manage these warehouses? And so from this and other warehouse operations data that they were able to manage using Keboola, GymBeam reduced their cost per package down to $2.20. And so with that, I will hand things over to Vojta, our data expert, but he's not only a data expert, as you can see here. He's worn the vest, he's worn the kind of picker scanner on his wrist, and spent a lot of time on the front lines seeing how GymBeam and other e-commerce customers can use data in the warehouse to optimize their business processes. Vojta.
Thank you very much, Jamie. So I'm glad that I can be here and share some experience that I encountered in GymBeam's warehouse. I spent there full day. I have an opportunity to go to real life use cases. I mean, I was picking the stuff, I was putting products into bins, shipping them, also changing the positions of stocks so pickers don't have to go 100 miles to pick their product. So now I want to share with you how it works in real life when you are a picker and how to translate it into data. If you are an e-shop owner or you have your e-commerce business, there is a sales journey. First, you need to have an acquisition of your client, meaning mostly marketing. Afterwards, you have the potential client on your website, which means you are trying to make them, or you are offering them some products, and at the end they are making an order. After order is being made, there is a third part, which is fulfillment, meaning someone needs to pick the product in warehouse, put it into box, and ship it afterwards. The whole process doesn't end with shipping the product, because there is customer care, and as we all know, better the customer care is, the better the revenue is. Today we'll be focusing on the third part, which is fulfillment. This part contains multiple data points and also multiple systems involved. And sometimes this is the reason why it's so hard to collect some data or have some insights over the whole warehouse. The fulfillment contains of picking stocks, products, items from different shelf locations in your warehouse, putting them into the bin, packing them into the cardboard or some package which you are going to ship. And this is the life cycle we want to cover today. And I want to show you how to measure the whole thing. What data inputs do we have? So first we have some employees. Those employees have some working hours, meaning they are working in the warehouse. Those employees have salaries, so you are paying them some money. In warehouse business, you don't have like every time the same amount of employees depending on the sale. If there is a Black Friday, you can have multiple more employees in your warehouse than in normal days. So first we need to collect how many employees we have, what was the working time for each employee, and how much we pay them. As far as we know this, there's another thing, which is picking time. Each order can be picked in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on the size of the order and also location of the products the picker needs to pick. After we have all, let's say, 5 products, which were part of the order, we have to pack them into box, so we'll be able to ship it afterwards. This packing has also its own cost. It's a material and it's a time. Everything is happening inside the warehouse. So this is another portion of our costs where we have some expenses, and here we will have utilities, we will have the rents, we will have IT support, we will have the cleaning ladies. So everything needs to be taken in place. Now, how it works in the real life. As I started as a picker in the GymBeam, my shift started by going through the turnstiles. This is the first data point. I have my ID card, I check the ID card on the turnstiles, and turnstiles let me in. At this point, my shift starts. Afterwards, I have to go and pick the Android device. In GymBeam warehouse, they are using handheld devices attached to your hand with laser scanner, which will help you through the whole journey in the warehouse. This is another data point. When I start, I enter the warehouse and I'm able to start picking. Afterwards, I moved to the correct floor, which in my case was the third floor, which is used for picking. And I clicked on my handheld device, start picking, and the system gave me an order. I was provided with 5 products I need to collect and also with their positions. So I click on the first product and it tells me it's a position B127/3, which means I need to go to the warehouse part, which is B, and there are shelves named by the numbers, and /3 means it's the most top shelf. Afterwards, I found the product and I need to scan the right shelf location. So I will verify, yes, this is the place where the product can be picked. And then I need to scan the product itself. Everything what I did here is another data point and it can be stored somewhere and we can use it in later process to lower our cost or to have some different insights. For my order, I have to repeat this process 5 times. So I found 5 shelf locations, 5 products with different amounts. And as far as everything was in my bin. I can scan the bin and put it into conveyor belt, and I send for packaging. This is how it works in the warehouse. Last thing was the packaging. In GymBeam, packaging is being done by automatic machines, also by the people. So we have different packages which are being packed automatically by machine, and some which are being done by people. So just to recap, what data points we have? Picking. For pickers, we have turnstiles and we have Android devices. We have their log time. We know how many orders they picked, completed, and shipped. And we also know their walking distance because we know from which location, like from which shelf, we send them to which shelf. So we can count approximately what was the distance to collect the whole order. For packaging, we have the packaging station where we have either labor cost or cost of the packaging material. Regarding employees, we want to collect their wages and salaries, which we will collect from HR system, and we also have other costs. In our case, warehouse, fixed costs, utilities, rents, IT support. As I said, there are multiple things. If you want to calculate what is the cost per order, you need to bring all data together. And this is when Keboola comes really handy. So what we need to do, we need to collect data from our HR system to know salaries. We need to collect data from turnstiles, so we know the working hours. From Android devices, we know which orders has been shipped. From packaging system or packaging department, let's call it packaging department of the warehouse, we can collect what was the price for packing particular order. And from some system, in our case it will be Google Sheets, we can collect fixed costs. Okay, this was everything for demo. And okay, last thing, what is the formula? Like it is pretty easy how to calculate it. So cost per package is number of orders shipped per day divided by total expenses made during that day. And this is it. But to get to this point, you need to know how many orders you shipped, and which is kind of easy. You can have it in one system. But summary of all expenses is where the hard thing lies. So let's go for a demo. Stop talking, Wojta, show me the code, how to do it inside the Keboola. I am happy to do so. So I will share my Keboola project. This is a copy of GymBeam's project. It's much more simplified than what is in the real life. And I want to show you what steps you need to take to be able to calculate the same thing. I create a flow, which is, I would say, a basic thing in Keboola, or the first thing where you will go if you want to know what is happening inside your Keboola project. At the first part, at the most top part, you can see that there's data acquisition. In our case, we are collecting data from 4 different systems. From MySQL, data we faked. Sorry, we can't share the real GymBeam's data, but we try to be as close as possible. We also have the turnstiles data. The provider of turnstiles data are providing data through Microsoft SQL database, so we were able to connect to different sources as well. For manual inputs, like fixed cost for the warehouse, we are using Google Sheets. It can be as easy as Google Sheet, just containing all the things, monthly cost, annual cost, if it's a fixed cost or not. Those data have been generated as well, so those are not real data of GymBeam. Last thing is to get salaries of employees. In this case, GymBeam has the HR system called Odoo, and they have all the employees' salaries and agreements there. Afterwards, we need to count or to join all the data together. For this purpose, we are using something what is called transformation in Keboola. I will quickly show you what is inside. For non-technical people, it might look quite hard to understand, but afterwards I will show you how you can do it just by using the AI with any interaction with SQL code itself. So this is just an easy way how to calculate all the things. I'm not going to detail because it's not important for this session. And if you have all the data, if you calculate how many employees do I have particular day, how many orders we have been able to ship, the last thing is to be able to visualize data. You can connect tool of your choice to visualize data. Keboola is a really good preparation platform, but we can also provide you with visualization. For this purpose, we are using data applications. Data application is something what Keboola provides for you. We can host your Streamlit applications. I wrote a simple Streamlit application by AI. There's a code which is kind of long, but what I want to show you here is you can also visualize things in Keboola as well. So we have the full data pipeline containing visualization. As far as you will have the visualization, you will have something like this. This is application which is pretty simple. It was generated within 10 minutes. But it contains crucial data which are important for us. So we know how price per package is oscillating. As I said, those data are not real data, but they are very close to what GymBeam has at the moment. So we can see what is the trend per day. If something is above $2, we can highlight it by a red, so warehouse manager is aware that something is happening there. We can also incorporate other dashboards like fixed cost. So we know that the fixed cost is still the same, but the labor cost varies and different things. As I said, we collect data from multiple data sources. So we can do also comparison or relation between employees and price per package. So we can calculate if we will have more people in the warehouse, how it reflects the cost of order. This was like quick overview how you can do it with Keboola and what kind of support Keboola gives you. Basically, data connectors. I will go back here to sum it up. So you need to do this. You need to be able to connect to multiple sources. You need to be able to transform data together, and you need to be able to visualize the whole thing. This might look like, if you are a business person, this might look like it's pretty hard to do so, but I want to show you the highlight of today's webinar, which is Keboola MCP server, which is a way where we connect, or this is a thing where we connect LLMs directly with Keboola. And this allows you to do exactly this thing without zero technical knowledge. For purpose of saving some time, I created a video where I will show you step by step how I did the whole use case, because I was not coding, I was doing everything by LLM. So starting, this is a window where you can interact with Keboola through MCP server. In our case, I'm using Cursor IDE. You can choose IDE of yourself. Very soon, I think we are talking in days, we will have Keboola window where you can interact directly with your Keboola project. Where you can interact with your Keboola project, and you don't have to use any other IDE. So first, I'm asking what kind of data I have in my project. I will list all the tables, and I want to know, like, give me just brief introduction, and use Keboola MCP server. This chatbot starts searching inside the tables. What do we have there? And we will provide it with a list of tables that we have in our project. So we have orders, we have status logs, we have products, we have employees with salaries, and this is just a brief overview what do we have there. I want to know if someone already created some descriptions so I can know better what is inside. And I see no, nobody did it. What Keboola MCP can do is it can create descriptions for you because we know where the data are coming from. We know names of all the columns, so we can create descriptions for you, which is pretty strong because now you did zero work and you have descriptions of your tables inside your Keboola. Next step is I want to calculate what is cost per package. And I provide it with some rules. At this moment, I'm creating the middle box, the transformation, the one which requires the SQL. In past days, you have to know the SQL, but in those days, it's just this prompt. So I'm saying I want to calculate cost per package based on data I have in my Keboola. Please do it. And I provide it with simple rules. Calculate total cost of employees per each day, divide employees' monthly salary by 30 to get main day salary. Each day there is a portion of fixed cost, so please count with that, and calculate how many orders I shipped during particular date. I also provided with the formula that it's all cost divided by number of packages shipped, and then I asked LLM to create a transformation in Keboola and run it. This is exactly the last sentence where the whole magic is, because it will search through the data, it will ensure itself that it knows enough to calculate this metric, and it will start the job. And what we found out, what is really interesting here, that it behaves like a human. You can see on the right side that there are multiple, or I will go with video to other seconds, and you can see it did 4 times, it tried 4 times before we have successful run. What we found out with the AI, it's really behaving like a human. So it tries, it fails, it tries again, it fails, and on third or fourth attempt, you are getting the right results. And if you ever worked with the AI or LLM, you know that the most awful part is copy pasting the code left and right, and it's not working. Okay, this is the error. So what we did with Keboola MCP is that we start the transformation, we check the result, and we will fix it for you. And when there is, for example, some logical error that transformation returns that for each day the cost per package is 0, it said, okay, I run it, but data are not what I expected, so it will fix itself. So you just need to provide the formula, and we will provide you with the working code afterwards. So this was pretty easy. This is how I did the whole transformation. And another thing is that I want to create a data application. As I said, data application is a code, it's a Python code written in a Streamlit, which is a framework we are using. You don't need to know it. You just need to provide Keboola with what you want to see, that you want dashboard, which looks good. And please provide me with the Python code, use Streamlit. We can provide you with these prompts, but Keboola MCP server is getting better and better, and you don't need to provide it with. So it scans the result of previous run, and you are given a data type. And this is how easy it can be. And this is the code I showed you. No changes. This was just the one prompt. So if you are data warehouse manager, you can probably do it as well. And this is application. I already showed the application. So I will move forward a little bit because last thing I'm saying, I want to put all steps into data pipeline. So I want to have my data fresh every 1 hour. So please create a Keboola flow and automate the whole process, because I want to have my data up to date every hour. And the result of this is exactly what I showed you at the beginning, which is the whole data pipeline consisting of getting data, calculating, and providing you with data visualization. Okay, thank you very much. Check the video. As always, like and subscribe. Enjoy it. Thank you. Bye-bye.